Hello, my name is Angel, and before we start, I'd like to let you know where you can find Spin on Rock. We are on all podcast platforms as well as YouTube, so make sure you check us out on all of those. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube and give us those 5 stars on podcast platforms. We are also on TikTok and Twitter, so make sure you follow so you can get clips and episode updates. We release every Monday, so make sure you tune in so you never miss. Hello, and welcome to the Spin the Rock podcast. I'm your host, Angel, and with me today is
Eugene,
Tyler,
and Vaughn.
all right. Back again. We're gonna do a little mid-season review. We have some news to catch up on though. First off, let's just what do you guys think of the All-Star game? Are you on the bandwagon of hatred, or are you just kind of like it's whatever?
I mean, my guy Jason Tatum broke the All-Star game scoring record, so I gotta love that part. This is an ESPN stat for you. He's the only player with a 50-piece in a regular season game, playoff game, play-in game, and now All-Star game. Just throwing that out there.
He said ESPN stat.
what play-in was that?
yeah, when the hell was he in the play-in? I don't remember.
2 years ago, I think it was, because Kemba was hurt, Jaylen Brown was hurt, and then they got beat by the Nets in the first round, I think it was.
I'm gonna be so real. I low-key forgot Kemba Walker was even on the Celtics at one point. I'm gonna be
How
so real. That's no disrespect at all. I
Boston
honestly
legend.
forgot. I honestly forgot. Like I really.
Man had one good year and then fell off after his knee injury.
Hey,
Hate to see it,
Gordon
bro.
Hayward too. I sometimes forget Gordon Hayward was on the Celtics.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna say I'm a hater because I don't see myself hating, All-Star game and break, but things could be changed. And I feel like I really just want to see like an actual competitive game. Like I don't care if we get to 200, bro. I just need a good game. You know what I'm saying? Like I get, they playing for charities. So it's like, every 3, whatever. But like, you can still do that and be competitive, But I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah. The only thing I really liked about it was like when Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown like were going back and forth, and then Dame just heaving it from like the parking lot. So other than that, like it was whatever. And it sucked that the captains didn't really play like that. So and they
True.
both had injuries, which is crazy. So this one was pretty forgettable for me. So
The big
Yeah.
thing with these All-Star games is like, how do you make it more competitive? Because when they did the rule change where each quarter you like reset it and then you have a target number, that first year they did it, it was pretty competitive, and after that it's kind of fallen off. I think Luka's interview while he was playing kind of shines a light on why the intensity isn't there. Is they don't want to injure each other,
Mm.
It's supposed to be a pretty chill weekend, so it's kind of like, how do you incentivize them to play harder? And that's just a challenge right there.
Like ultimately I understand like why they don't play hard during All-Star break, obviously. But I don't know. I feel like you can still be competitive. At least play some defense. Like it shouldn't be an open lane to the basket every possession, but I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of agree with all those things you guys said. I was also like, I feel like one of the few people going into it not expecting a competitive game, just because I feel like that every All-Star game. I seen some people saying like maybe move it like after the playoffs, or like sometime like during the big gap between the playoffs and the regular season. But I just feel like no matter what you're gonna do, like even the dunk contest, like people are saying they're never gonna do that. So I just feel like it's kind of hard to make these people who are the main attraction of it care. Like none of them really, the dunk contest, like no one really cares about that anymore. It's kind of starting to be that way with the All-Star game. So it's just like trying to make the players care is probably what's gonna need to happen to make the change. All right, getting into, we only have one piece of news today, and that is the Clippers Kings game went into double overtime, 176 to 175. What do you guys think about that game? I don't know if you guys watched it or not. Like, how do you when you saw that scoreline, what do you think?
just the one time I leave the house and like, because I was actually thinking about watching the game, but I was like, no, I'm just gonna go out and do stuff. And then this happens, man. That was crazy. Malik Monk got 45 off the bench, bro. Like, oh my gosh. But That's insane. It's like on some 2K scoring stuff, but from what I've seen, like it just looked like the energy was high the whole night, and just it was cool to see. And also Russ had a decent game, so that's always good to see. So, but I'm sure there's a lot more I missed as far as highlights and all that.
Yeah, when I first saw the score, I think like Shams or Woj tweeted it, and I was like 170s. I was like, huh? And then I clicked on it. It said second highest scoring NBA game ever. So then that made me think like, what was the first? I didn't look it up, but I was like, that's crazy. And then I immediately went to the box score. Malik, like Tyler just said, had 40. De'Aaron Fox had 40. Kawhi had 40. Paul George had 30. Russ had almost 20. I think Norman Powell had 15 or 20, something like that. It was like every starter or role player, decent role player, had double digits in that game. Like crazy numbers. I kind of do wish I watched that game because I mean Clippers Kings, is whatever, but beam.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like we go back and look through standings every now and then. And the 1 seed would change early on in the year. Nuggets kind of got that hold right there, and the Kings, at the 3 seed right now, and they've been that way for weeks. So it doesn't look like a fluke, and they're just on another level for their offense. I mean, how do you get 176 points? Kings got a really great offense going on. So it's a good to see the Kings, maybe break off that playoff rust soon, hopefully. And then with the Clippers, I only saw highlights, but Russell Westbrook looked very comfortable in that offense, and that was his first game there. It probably helps that he's got spacing everywhere. He was saying in press interviews that they want him, so he was playing like he belonged there. So it was nice to see too.
Yeah, I only watched the second overtime, so I don't really have anything different to say. I wish I watched the whole game, because people said who watched the whole game said it was like an amazing game. Like it wasn't just like a scoring fest. So like I'm kind of bummed that like I kind of jumped in a little too late.
I found the highest scoring NBA game. I'm gonna read it off real quick. All right, so it was the Pistons and Nuggets, and the Pistons beat the Nuggets 186-184 in triple overtime. That was in 1983, man. That's crazy.
That was like Wes Unseld, bro.
186-184. Oh my goodness.
Triple overtime.
That's so unheard of.
That's wild. You said it was a 3-point game?
It was a 2-point game, 186-184 in 1983. That's what.
80s. I never would
You
have
gotta
guessed that.
play
Oh god.
triple overtime in an era where they're throwing elbows and at the back of your head. That's crazy.
Getting
You waking
DDT
up
left
with 8
and right.
bruises, bro.
They out here getting DDT in the paint and all that. Like,
Literally. That's insane.
Yeah, I didn't expect to hear 80s. That's like the main, like when people try to trash talk the old era, they usually bring up the 80s. I did not expect an early 80s game. That's insane. All right. We're gonna do a little mid-season review right after the All-Star break. The games are being played right now, but it's time to just kind of look back and see what we have so far in the season. Right now, I'm just gonna start it off though about us, make it about us. I don't have the board just because it's a little, all the sticky notes fell off because of how long it's been since I made it. So I gotta remake the board. But I do remember all the topics. So we're gonna do a little board review. We're gonna start off from the person with the least to the person with the most, which is my prediction, which was Kings play-in, and I shared that with Vaughn.
Yes,
And it
sir.
looks like I mean, don't get me wrong. We were both doubtful and made sure to specify play in and not necessarily playoffs. I don't even think we were thought they would be above like the 8th seed, to be honest. So
Right.
it's kind of insane. So let's just talk about the Kings right now and where they're at. third in the West. Do you think they're gonna keep it up? And do you think they're a first round exit?
Oh,
First round exit as a third seed. If playoffs were to start today,
They match up with the Mavericks, right? Because it's the 3 and 6. That match up in the playoffs.
ooh,
As
no,
far as
it's
seeding?
no, it's 3 and 7, I think,
Oh,
right?
no, it's 2 and 7, 3 and 6.
Oh,
okay, so if the playoffs were to start today, that means they face the Mavericks. So
That would
They-
be.
they
that's
lose
a
to
yeah, yeah.
They lose to the Mavericks.
Well, I say it's a good series because neither of them have any defense anymore. Like Kings don't play defense, and then Mavericks lost all their wing defenders, and they got Dwight Powell sitting in the paint and Maxi Kleber. Like it's gonna be like a 3-point shootout. So
It's
I
gonna,
like
it's literally gonna be who makes more threes. To be honest,
right.
And how many games though? You think it'd be like it's in 6, in
5 or 6.
5 or
I would
6?
say 6.
I don't think it'll be a sweep. Like I don't see sweep when I look at this matchup,
Yeah, no,
especially
I'm
where
not,
they're at
it's,
today. Like
it's not gonna be 4-0 either team. It's
At
not
all.
gonna be
No.
that.
Yep.
Gentlemen's, I could kind
That
of
could
see if if a team like wins back-to-back games, I could kind of see it. 6 games, I feel like is good. 7 games would be very interesting.
mm-hmm.
And Kings would be at home. 7 games would be very interesting.
All right. Yeah, I just go Kings. let's see if they keep it up. I hope they're not a first round exit. First time in years making it in the playoffs, just to lose in the first round would be kind of
Oh
sad.
man.
Hey, and
So they would have
honestly,
home court
yeah.
advantage too. So those
Mhm.
playoff games would go crazy. The
Right,
first in
yeah.
how long?
right.
Like, oh my god. I need to see that actually.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, now going to the second fewest, Tyler, and Tyler's prediction was Nets season is over, and he said that when they had Ben Simmons, KD, and Kyrie. So
Look spot on with that one.
yeah, as far as that roster, that's definitely over. But they're sitting at the 5 seed right now. But it seems like everybody who's on the team now seems to like they seem to be comfortable where they're at. And you got Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and then who else? They also got Dinwiddie back. That's correct. I think those are and Finney Smith. So they got a lot of new pieces.
yeah,
And-
so I was gonna ask you guys, do you see them either A, falling out of the playoffs, or B, falling out of the play-ins completely, just not making it whatsoever? How far do you see the Nets falling?
Okay, you gotta think about it. They're in the East. They're sitting at 5, and that
Mhm.
was with KD basically carrying them. KD's no longer there. They will fall. But you also got to think about the other teams below them in the East. You got some of probably arguably some of the worst teams in the league. You got the Magic and the Pistons. They're bottom 2 in the East, bottom 3 in the league. And then what do the standings look like actually?
So below them, I'll just say below them.
All right.
I gotta pull it up also.
1 game behind is the Knicks. 2 games behind is the Heat. 3 games behind is the Hawks. 4 games Toronto, and then a big gap. About 5 or 6 games Washington, and that's 6
Okay.
to 10.
The Raptors, Heat, and Knicks will pass them, meaning they'll drop down to what, 8?
8 about, yeah.
Don't make the play-in. I don't think they'll drop completely out of the play-in though. And
Yeah,
maybe the Hawks might pass them, but they haven't really been doing nothing.
And they also just fired their coach, I think, and they're trying to get is it Quinn Snyder?
Yeah, I
Former
think
Jazz
that's
coach.
what I saw. Mm-hmm.
So maybe that could help them turn their stuff around. But as of right now, like you said, they're not doing nothing. So
I think it's a real possibility that they squeeze into playoffs. I wouldn't love to see that just because their champion aspirations from earlier in the season are now gone. I mean, like Tyler said, they're done. Even if they make playoffs, they're not getting past the first round,
Yeah. I was gonna say I think they might be the only sweep in the playoffs. I highly believe there won't be that many sweeps this year. And if there will be one, it will be the Nets. Just because like none of them have playoff experience that much, really. They're also a pretty young team.
Mm.
So it's like the vets that they do have already barely make it to playoffs. So it's like I can't see them if they do sneak into the playoffs. I can't see them getting more than like a close win. Like that's the most positive I can think.
You think Cam Thomas got to drop 50?
Yeah, I think Cam Thomas got to do what he does best and just randomly drop 40. All right, and now going with the second most, which is Vaughn, because we shared King's plan, so that leaves him with 2, which were all from the last episode. With Lakers still miss playoffs. Let's start with that one. Do you, after seeing the new team, do you still believe that?
They're still the 13 seed, so yeah.
All right.
Not hesitate.
I'm not like it's been 1 week, right? Like there's no way
Yeah.
I was gonna change my mind that quickly. Anyways, yeah, so the Lakers like not only have to be great for the rest of the season, but they also have to really prey on the others' downfall that are ahead of them right now. So it's kind of like maybe one happens, but you probably can't have both. But I do expect, like I said last time, they will be a better team next year.
I mean, I'm Laker biased, so I mean, I'm just hoping for playing. The team looks good. We just have to stay healthy. Like D'Lo got hurt, AD gets hurt every 3 weeks, and then sits out more. LeBron, load management. Like if we stay healthy, I feel like we should at the very least make play-in, but it's all up to God at this point.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the mindset of I can see them sneaking into the play-ins, and then like I don't really feel like any of the people who are in the play-ins can beat the Lakers. Was it Jazz, Pelicans, and Timberwolves?
Pelicans could if they're healthy.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I kind of just said it, didn't even really think about it. Pelicans definitely could.
Yeah, if they're like fully, if they got everybody on the court, they could beat us. Should they? No, but they could.
Yeah, like you got the Trailblazers, Thunder, Pelicans, Jazz, and Timberwolves taking up the spots ahead and the play-in. So it would be tough any which way, I think.
Yeah, for
It will
sure.
be.
We shall. And then Justin Jackson will be in China.
I never said to put that on the list. I just slipped that in there in my argument. Y'all want me? It's actually impossible. Let's be honest.
No, it is. Sadly, it is.
Jeez, man.
He would probably make more money if he went. To be honest.
No, for sure. I knew you didn't say that, but I had to bring it back up. All right, and now with Eugene's, because he has 3 that he didn't share with anyone. The third one I want to save to tie into the next topic. So let's start off with Utah Jazz playoffs, not play-ins, playoffs. Eugene, how do you feel about that statement?
It's not looking too hot, bro. They were hooping. They looked so good, and now they don't. Laurie's carrying. Colin Sexton's nowhere to be found. Jordan Clarkson looked like he high on the court all the time. Like it's just nowhere to be found now. I'm still pulling for him, but we'll see.
I mean, they are at a better spot than most people thought, anyways. I mean, they're still
Right.
9th play-ins, and they're only 1 game behind the Mavs. So it's not like most people thought they would be down there with San Antonio and Houston. So like it's not like completely of a crazy take, especially because at the time Jazz were number 1 in the West.
They were number 1 for like 2 weeks. Like they're going on crazy win streaks.
Looking like the best center of all time in Utah. And then that ties into Colin Sexton is the Utah Dame.
Also not looking good on that one. He was hooping out of his mind. I don't know if he got hurt or not though. So I don't know if that if he did get hurt, I don't know if that slowed him down or if he just if it was just like some hot streak and then he's back to playing where he was. But I don't. He's still young,
Yeah.
He'll probably be there for a minute, probably a long time, unfortunately. So he still might. He's got time to evolve. He's still got time to evolve. He's
For
still
sure.
recovering from his ACL. So just give him some time. Just give him some time.
No.
Maybe a better coach too.
No, I'm definitely rooting for Sexton. I mean, he was kind of killing it in Cleveland. People thought he was going to be the future of Cleveland, so I'm not preying on his downfall at all.
I thought it was going to be him and Garland, and then they went out and got Donovan, so you can't be mad at that.
No. I don't think a
That's
single
a power
Cavalier.
move, man.
I don't think a single Cavalier fan is like that mad about the Sexton.
Yeah,
right.
Like no Cavs fan is punching the air because they got Donovan Mitchell and they had to, like, come on.
All right. Do you guys have any comments about the Jazz and where they're at right now?
I mean, aside the whole, being one seed, like going into the season, I don't think anyone would have thought like that they would be one seed at any point. So, like, if anything, you could probably say they exceeded expectations, but they're probably where I'd expect them to be, like, going into the season, like, minus that whole one seed thing, if that makes sense.
No, that for sure makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. And then using Eugene's last prediction to tie into our next topic. So that means we're going to start off with Eugene. Rookie class review. You said Benedict rookie of the year. So I know you have high hopes about that, but rookie class review. How do you feel about the rookies this year?
Y'all see the background. Y'all see it. Benedict Mathurin all the way. Paolo, sit down, bro. Sit down, bro. Jose been, gawking him, but like, Benedict taking it, bro. Benedict taking it, bro. I'm telling you, if Benedict does not take home rookie of the year, I'm finna rant here, bro. I'm finna rant. The average, I'm pretty sure Benedict has higher averages in all major stats, bro. I'm pretty sure, but the story, the number one pick story will continue to ride it out. So
a good thing is Mathurin, I see, comes off the bench, but Paolo starts. So I think what Benedict is doing off the bench is a little more impressive, just because he's not the one option all the time. Paolo's getting the ball every single time. Also,
right.
Paolo's 3-point percentage for like the last month has sunk to single digits. So that's wow. It's a rough spot right now.
Single that's
digits.
crazy.
That's insane.
I didn't even know that.
Fun little fact there. Not so fun for Paolo, but and how do you feel about?
How do you do that?
No, he's got to be like shooting like one out of like 5. He's
30.
There's no way that's insane.
Bro needs to get some runs with Lethal Shooter, get that jumper fixed.
He need Lethal Shooter. He need Chris Brinkley. He need the Professor. He need all of them, bro.
Yeah, I was about to say the Professor.
He need all of that.
And so, okay, and how do you guys? I don't know who wants to kick us off, but overall, how do you feel about this year's rookie class? I think I kind of have some. I just want to mid. I'm gonna say it. One of them is injured. Haven't even seen playing yet. The other two is a surpriser, the first pick, and then Keegan Murray is like the only other rookie I feel like a lot of NBA fans are talking about. Rest of them are either disappointing or just on a really, just not really getting the touches they need to show us who they are.
Right. I want to say like the class was an L, but like you just said, a lot of rookies just they're either hurt, aren't getting PT, or aren't touching the ball. So it's like we don't really know what they can do to their, best of their ability. So I guess I kind of would. I want to say L, but I can't, you know?
hmm
So it's like I agree with the mid argument.
I can't even tell, only because like I can't even remember who's a rookie this year. We got Keegan Murray, Shaden Sharp, Jabari Smith, Paolo Benedict. And Jabari Smith falls in that category. He doesn't really get good looks. The coach doesn't like make plays for him. Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr., no playmaking whatsoever. So he's kind of like fending for himself there.
Strays.
They don't have
They're-
one point guard on that team.
No, they're so unfun to watch, man. Like it's an AAU team, it seems like.
No, because it actually is though.
Jeez.
They're the bottom of the West for a reason. Keegan Murray, he doesn't get a whole lot of looks too, but he kind of just tries to fit in where he can because there's already so many scorers on that team.
Yep.
He's just gonna do whatever he can. And then who else we got? Who else on the Thunder was a rookie? Jalen Williams, both of them.
Yeah.
Both of
Ja-
them, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
both
and-
Jalen Williams and Jalen Williams.
and they're
Yeah,
both
so-
doing pretty poorly. I know,
I know
one of
one
them.
of them's a really good shooter.
The
Yeah, I
starter,
know
the
what-
starter's pretty good. The starter's pretty
Yeah, the one who's supposed to be a finisher is just not doing what he's supposed to be.
Mhm.
He just
And
can't get
then-
into the paint.
Trey Mann, I think, is a rookie this year. He's also another good shooter on that Thunder team. They're just a really young team. They got to develop further.
Oh,
So I
Detroit got.
Oh.
yeah, I was about to say
got it,
Jay
got it.
Ivey.
I didn't mean to cut you off, Vaughn. You got it.
I
Let me
like
cut you
Jaden
off.
Ivey. But I was gonna bring up the Spurs for a second because Jeremy.
Spawn.
So yeah, Jeremy. So I love that man. That man really tries to
One
mimic
arm free throw, man.
Dennis Rodman. I like him. He'll be like a valuable piece on the championship team one day, I think. Malachi Branham was in our rookie, like who to look for. And only just recently has he exploded as a scorer. He's got like 20-point games in his last 10 or something. So he looks like he'll be a good young piece alongside Keldon Johnson. So I don't know. It's like I don't know where this draft class ranks among the last 5 years, but there either be some very good role players to all stars. It's just it's just too early, man.
Yeah, I think so. We didn't talk about Shaden Sharp. He's been hooping. I think he's been one of the better rookies. Jaden Ivey has not been. He's stuck in Detroit, so you can't really blame him. But he hasn't been performing. I believe, especially with Cade out for the year, he hasn't been performing like I thought he was going to do. Johnny Davis has been playing like trash the entire season on Washington. Who else? There was another name. Oh, Andrew Nemhard on the Pacers. He's been going kind of hard. As of late, not the entire season, but like leading up to All-Star break. He was kind of hooping. I think that's about it. Notable wise, anyway.
What about you, Tyler? How do you feel about the rookie class?
I mean, pretty much they're saying it's like either like injuries or like they're not getting like enough looks or touches. Like Keegan Murray's stats aren't. I mean, then again, he's playing with De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis, so like you can't really blame him for that. It sucks to see that Chet couldn't even like get a chance to even play in the regular season, getting hurt in the Drew or the Pro-Am or whatever it was. But there's a lot of like rookies that like I'm looking at names, but I just haven't seen them do much. So it's like it's kind of whatever to me. But give them time, they're still young. So
For sure.
also like if they get put in the right situation, they can, kind of like the whole Cam Thomas situation, like with Kyrie, like him taking the backseat. Like once he got a chance, like look at him now,
yeah.
I feel like
Facts.
if they're healthy, you put in the right situation, just give them time. So they can probably, like, who knows their ceiling.
Agreed.
It's tough because I keep thinking like sophomores are rookies this year because Jose Alvarado was a rookie last year.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Green rookie last year. So I'm just trying to like filter out who's a rookie even this year.
Like a first year player.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Can we agree though? I feel like this is something we agree though. The race for rookie of the year is kind of now. It's not as intense as a lot of people thought it would be, but right now I feel like the only real winners is gonna either be Paolo or Benedict, just
Mhm.
because they're the only ones who are actually getting used by their teams a decent amount.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that. Yeah, it's not as exciting as some of the years past.
Yeah, for sure. It's also just like going into the season, we thought it would be exciting. I mean, we were talking about Chet, Paolo, Keegan Murray, Jabari Smith, and it was just like one guy is injured of that list, one guy is on the Houston Rockets,
Mhm.
and the other guy, his team is surprisingly doing really, really well. So it's just like out of the people we thought were gonna be in the race, only like one of them is actually like showing that they are very much in the talks for it.
Hmm.
I mean, like last season's rookie of the year race, you had Scotty Barnes, Evan Mobley, and then you also had like notable players like Franz Wagner and then Kay Cunningham. So like it was a little more like exciting to keep up with as compared to now. It's just like it's whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we have been spoiled. I mean, like
Yeah.
it's been Zion, Jaw, LaMelo, and it's just been like really, really nice races. So,
Yeah.
all right, moving on. Who in the standings to you guys? We're gonna do some standings talk, and we're gonna start off with who is shockingly high in the standings in your opinion. Who did you not expect to be where they are when coming into the season?
I think we can all say the Kings.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
for
one.
sure.
That's one. I gotta
that's probably
pull
the
up
most
standings again.
obvious one.
I mean, they have like a 57% win rate, 0.576. So it's like
Mhm.
they're also winning a lot of games.
Mhm.
Right. Honestly, this is shockingly high, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I think I'm going to say the Nuggets. I wasn't expecting the Nuggets to be number one, especially for this long
That's valid.
and probably for even longer because how many games ahead are they?
They're so
5 games
far ahead.
Yeah, they're 5 games ahead of second seed. So, like, I don't know. To me, in my opinion, that's pretty surprising. I mean, I know y'all were, at least top 5 last year, right? Top 3, top 5?
Yeah, I think we were top 5.
Right. So, and with the mall coming back, he hasn't been like going like super crazy, obviously, but
Mhm.
I don't know. To me, that was
No.
surprising.
I definitely agree with that. I think every time you did anytime you saw someone do a standings video or standings prediction, it would either be like Phoenix, Memphis, like Denver was always like 4 or 5 in those videos. So no one
Mhm.
saw no one saw them running away with first seed because right now that's what it looks like. They're
Right.
running away with first seed. I think right now they're on I think they were just on a winning streak. So it's kind of like they're not slowing down that much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were on a 4-game winning streak before losing to the Grizzlies.
Yeah, so that's I definitely agree with the Nuggets take.
Well, for the Eastern Conference, I would say the Knicks are at 6, so they would be a playoff lock if it ended today. They'll
Mhm.
probably climb higher. They'll probably get past the Nets at some point. I wouldn't have thought Jalen Brunson would have made this big of an impact on the offense and defense. Like, he's really set a tone on both ends. Because that man, like Kyle Lowry, taking like charges and everything. I hate when my team plays against him, but he's a good look for them. But they're better than the Heat, the Hawks, the Raptors, Bulls. Those are all teams we would have thought would have been more competitive, more higher in the standings. So that's why I got to say the Knicks.
Yeah, I like you said, the Jalen Brunson thing, a lot of people said the Knicks paid him, and like I still kind of think that, don't get me wrong.
Him and RJ, I wholeheartedly agree
But,
with that. But
But like, I also think like it so far it's paying off. I mean, to be 6 seed, and keeping up with the rest of the top 5. Of course, the Nets are eventually gonna fall, but it's definitely surprising to see the Knicks be where they're at.
I feel like it. I feel like it. I don't know if it's to me. I don't know if it's that surprising because the Heat are on a 4-game losing streak currently. The Knicks are on a 5-game winning streak, and then you got the Hawks who've been playing like terrible. Raptors are like off and on. They're literally sitting almost at 500. The Wizards are the Wizards. The Bulls are the Bulls. Pacers fell off, but I'll talk about that later. So it's just like I feel like it's very fitting for what the East looks like right now. And just how, games have been played or whatever. But that's my opinion.
I see where you're coming from. I think it's surprising because I think last year they were like the 12th seed. So I think that's why I think it's kind of surprising because all they really did was add Brunson. So I didn't think adding Brunson would push him up that high.
6 seeds, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
The
true.
real game changer, bro.
Yeah.
The real goat, man.
Yeah, he saw all the people saying he didn't deserve that 100 mil, so he decided to ball out.
Yeah.
You still don't, but
All right, and then, you guys really said all the ones I was thinking. I kind of wanted to say the Jazz just because I personally thought they would be poverty. If you watch our tier list, I was fighting hard for poverty. I thought they were gonna be down there. So
For real.
Jazz being ninth, like they're a playing team, and I don't see them losing that at all. I don't see them going lower than ninth. I don't even see them I can see them actually going higher. But
I could if they continue their win streak, I could see it.
But I feel like a lot of fans saw them being like a tanking for a Wemby type of team. So I kind of want to see the Jazz.
I'm kind of fighting with one. Would I be crazy to say the Wizards sitting at 10 is surprisingly high?
Not really.
No. That's like what? 2 seeds up higher than last year?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I just to me, I feel like they're playing better than what they normally do, and they're sitting playing right now. So
True. I mean, it has been a while since we saw them in a play-in / playoff game at all.
right, I think that was when Russ was on the team, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Like
was
the last time.
a few years ago. So
I kind of agree with that now, thinking how they weren't anywhere near that for a while.
for a long while.
I have some questions about the teams we brought up. Starting with, I already kind of talked about the Kings being 3rd seed, so I'm just going to move back to that. Will it be disappointing for the Nuggets? Like, will you guys think it will be a blow to the Nuggets if they don't make it to the finals this year?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, do you think they're going to have to a big thing that's talking about is how Jokic is up for a 3rd MVP right now. People are talking about that. Do you think that's a blow to Jokic and, of course, the team overall if they don't make it pretty far in the playoffs for, the 5th year in a row?
So, do you think that they'll have the regular season allegations that Utah had is what you're asking?
Pretty much. I'm just asking, can you see? I think the stat was Jokic will be the first if he doesn't win a ring in his career, he'll be only the 3rd person to have 2 MVPs and no ring.
Yeah,
So
I think there is a lot on the line for him this year, only because this is the most wide open the road to the finals has been.
Mm-hmm.
And if this isn't his year, when will it be his year?
That's true because he's only getting older.
True. And he did just sign a contract, so I don't see a trade coming anytime soon either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when they're the 1 seed, you won't always get the 1 seed in the West. So if you secure that 1 seed, this is when you gotta show up in the playoffs. So
Especially
there's pressure on 'em.
after All-Star break now. This is when things start to heat up and teams play harder.
Mhm.
But I mean, it's even though he plays like it, it's not entirely on him, obviously. But I don't know if it'll stain his image, to be honest, even if he doesn't make the finals.
Yeah.
I agree with that because if you look at the stats, every time Jokic is off the court, their offensive rating just plummets. So it's like I feel like it would be the more tainting on the franchise than it will be Jokic himself.
Right.
It will be like another Carmelo Anthony thing. Like, how did you not win a ring when you're Carmelo Anthony on your team?
Hmm.
All right. I kind of don't have any questions for the Knicks, just because
It's the Knicks.
it's the Knicks. All right, and now shockingly low. Who's a team in the standings that is like a little lower than you thought they would be?
Only because like of where they ended up last season, and I know Steph is hurt, but I'd say the Warriors because I think throughout the whole season have they even made the top 5 in standings the whole season, like even before he got hurt? Because I don't remember them even making that.
It might have been like early in the season, you know, when records were like tied and whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they've been sitting like bottom half for the majority of it. Because it's like when Steph didn't Clay get hurt too?
I think so.
I feel like 2 of them were out. It was like Draymond, somebody.
Andrew Wiggins was out for a while, yeah.
Yeah, when they were out, it was us as in the Lakers and the Warriors were fighting for that like 9 and 10 seed.
Yeah.
And it was like we would just lose and they would continue to keep winning. That's why we're sitting 13 right now. But yeah, I think they've been bottom half for the majority of the season.
Yeah, because I mean, right now they're the 7th seed, which isn't too bad, but it's just like compared to like the fact that they won a championship last season, and then this season they didn't really make too much change to the team. Like,
Yeah, especially they were also top 5 last season too.
Yeah, and I guess like their main thing, I guess that really derailed them was just injuries, like we just brought up. So it's still surprising to see. Like,
I mean, they were pretty low at one point. I remember in one of our episodes we talked about how Jordan Poole was like the best player on that team, and they were like only like 12 seed. So like it's pretty much been an uphill battle for the Warriors.
And they just can't. They're not a good away team. Like they can't play games away, and they can't win away. So that hurts a lot. But it's like almost like every game at home they win. So it's like when you're basically 500 home and away, like that's not good enough.
Yeah. All right. I kind of have one. I feel like it's for me. I'm not surprised, but I feel like for everyone else, Portland still being 12 seed, even though Dame is basically back and he's having like almost his best season. So I'm kind of surprised that they're 12 seed again.
I'll agree with that, but also Dame sat out a lot of games, and so did Simons. And Simons is obviously a big part of their offense now, with McCollum being out. So I don't know why they did that, because I don't even think they were hurt. But they were sitting out like a lot of games earlier in the season. So it's like I don't think they should be 12. I think they should be higher, obviously, but I mean they're sitting at 12. It's just kind of weird. Their season has been weird, to say the least.
Yeah, it has, because they've done a complete flip flop. Because at the beginning of the season, it was shockingly high.
They were the only undefeated team in the league. Like,
and then now I'm bringing up for shockingly low. So it's like it's definitely been a weird season. If you're a Trailblazers fan, you don't know. I'm pretty sure you don't know how to feel.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Oh no, you got it, man. You got it.
Oh, I was just like, I would have thought they'd been top 8 lock, but they're not because of all the injuries and stuff. And now they kind of have a lot of new trade pieces that they gotta get acclimated to the offense and everything. I would like for them to turn it around. There is still time. There's like 20 to 30 games left in the season. So plus those bottom like 6 to 12, well, 13 spots are really close to each other. So it's like kind of like no man's land right there. All those teams just like you never know what's gonna happen. Hopefully, Dame and Simons can stay healthy and go on one. Because like they got a revamped defense, I think, with all the new young pieces they got. So I hope something changes for them.
Yeah, they're definitely a solid team. It's just they gotta make something work. Keep to it.
The chemistry and all that. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was pretty much just gonna say the same thing that Vaughn said, just like because they did pick up Matisse Thybulle, Cam Reddish, and whatnot. So like they're still probably like still trying to adjust and like learn the system and whatnot. So just kind of reiterating what Vaughn had to say on that.
Also, one thing: how long are they gonna stick with Yusuf Nurkic? It's been
Bro.
how long?
Question.
You got rid of CJ McCollum before you got rid of Nurkic. Like
Yeah,
something. Come on.
I mean, it's not like he's a bad player. It's just
Right.
he's literally AD. Like he gets hurt and then he's out for long periods of time. So it's like when he's healthy, he can hoop. But when is he healthy? So it's I don't know. That's like a weird thing about their team too. It's just like I don't know.
And they also traded like for Josh Hart, right? Like as part of the McCollum trade, like they got Josh Hart in return.
Yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
And then where is he at now? The Knicks. So like they must have like just seemed like it was for nothing, That's what was my point. It's like damn.
All right. For the East, I got the Heat because last season they were number 1 in the East, and now they've dropped down to 7, and they're still struggling. Jimmy Butler, kind of upset about that 4-game losing streak they got, and it doesn't look like there's a bright light at the end of the tunnel. It kind of looks like if they make playoffs, they might be exiting first round.
Yeah, I kind of have. I don't really keep up with the Heat. I kind of like seeing them do well just because I like Jimmy Butler. I like Lowry. So it's like I try to check in on them every now and then, but I'm like I have no clue why they're doing so poorly because there's not that much different about them from last season. So it's kind of odd to see them be in a completely different spot in the standings.
It's just like I don't know. Ever since that bubble championship run that they had, I feel like they just haven't had the same like energy. I don't know. I don't know what it is because I haven't been watching them either. But I feel like it's like they're the same team but a different team. They haven't really done much trade wise or like free agent signings since that season. But it's just I don't know. It's like the same team but different. It's just weird.
It's like some of their players are either good on offense in spurts or they're good in defense in spurts. Like Oladipo is either shooting the lights out or he's shooting bricks. Or if he's on the defensive end, he's locking someone down or he's getting blown by every time. So it really doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Where the consistency is even coming from.
It's literally like the Blazers, just like another weird team,
Do y'all see do you guys see anyone walking in free agent? Like, actually, are there any free agents coming up for this team? Actually, no, just in general. Like, do you see any of anyone on the roster just leaving? Like, let's say, for example, like Oladipo. Like, do you see anyone just trying to find somewhere else to go?
I don't see Oladipo leaving the Heat only because he walked away from pretty big contracts to play on a team that could make championship.
Yeah, contender.
So I think he's there for a reason.
Mhm.
I know they want to get rid of Duncan Robinson, but they paid him way too much for what they could possibly get. He's a shooter who's in like a shooting slump all season long, and he can't play defense.
They also
So
they also don't play him that much either. Like after they gave him the bag and then said you're not seeing the court.
Yeah, all playoffs. They didn't play him. He didn't see the court. It's pretty wild that they did that. And then who's even the backup center for Bam?
I have no idea.
I'm looking at the
Oh.
roster right now. Would it be Kevin? No, not Kevin. Would it be Kevin
I
Love?
thought
don't
I
even
thought
know.
Precious, but I thought it was. Oh,
No, he's on the
He's on the
Raptors.
Raptors. He's on the Raptors now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, they had Dwayne Dedman, but they traded him away for like for cash,
Spurs,
I
I
think.
think.
So I don't even know.
Yeah,
who's
like
back
they're not
then.
they're not adding anything. Like
They're just
Kevin Love was the first addition in a long time, and I can't.
right.
I might be a hater, but I don't think the Kevin Love edition is gonna make them skyrocket like that
No,
much.
I
I can
don't- I
see
didn't-
at
I didn't
best
see it
fifth
either.
seed. I can see at best fifth seed.
Right. And that's if he gets PT, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if he stays healthy, like
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's hurt all the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, to do nothing, that was a team that had to do something at the trade deadline. They didn't, and now they're kind of like paying the consequences for it.
Oh yeah, for
Might have
sure.
to look at this team next season.
yeah, I don't know what Pat Riley doing in Miami, bro. My team that I have shockingly low is also in the East. I was really excited to see him play, but they just haven't been doing anything. I got the Hawks. They sitting just over 500, 31-30. I mean, it's just a
Not
good-
much you can talk about.
Yeah, Trey, he's doing all right. DeJounte is not doing, crazy numbers. I thought they were gonna pop off this season, especially because like they didn't really give anything away. It was just they signed DeJounte,
Yeah.
So I figured that would help. Spread the offense, obviously, with Trey not being the only shooter. But yeah, they just mid, super mid.
Not only that, but like rumors of Trae Young wanting to be traded came out like out of nowhere,
Mhm.
and then just kind of disappeared. Like it was brought up for like a week and then never talked about again. It was like there's got to be something going down in Atlanta. Like it's definitely got to be locker room trouble.
Or something, literally something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I guess that's why they got they fired or got rid of
Mhm.
their coach or whatever.
Mhm.
So maybe, hopefully, a new coach changes something. But I don't know. We'll see.
It's like you're not using the personnel to like their strengths, because I don't think it's a coincidence Kevin Huerter gets traded to the Kings and the new offense that's pretty mobile. Like he's a spot up shooter, but he's running off the ball to get open, which is what Trae Young should be doing. And that Hawks offense, they just stand there and wait for something to happen. It don't matter who got the ball in their hands. Like I was saying, Trae would be best suited if he imitated Steph Curry's off-ball movement, running around the place, teammates setting off-ball screens, but they don't do that. And they just use John Collins as a lob threat every time. I know he could be a stretch four if they used him like that.
Right. He's literally a pick and roll player. Yeah.
Right, exactly. But they just don't use them like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like their own
is
fault.
John Collins is definitely getting wasted on the Hawks.
Mhm.
I'm a big advocate of getting him out of there just because he's supposed to be like another option but they don't use him as another option. Like he was supposed to be the second option before DeJounte, and then it didn't use him like that. Like so, it's like I don't know what they're doing.
Right.
Honestly,
Even-
with like, I don't know what.
No, go ahead. No, you go ahead. What?
I'll just say low key, like I'm kind of like the only things I can remember for DeJounte Murray this season. Like I really hate that these are the only things that I can remember is him beefing with rookies. Like I really can't think of no crazy performances. Like I mean, it doesn't help that I might have to tune into the Hawks more because maybe he's like playing better than like from what I'm seeing. But like that's like the most I remember, like him beefing with what was it, Paolo in the preseason or not preseason, the offseason, and then he's over here getting in Jabari Smith's face and calling him a little boy and stuff like that, doing the little too small gesture and all that. But
To be
yeah,
fair, I think
yeah.
him and DeAndre Hunter are the only one who try on defense. You got Clint
Oh, yeah, for
Capella,
sure.
and he just like waits in the paint, like, oh, am I gonna get a block? Kind of like what Hassan Whiteside used to do. He was camping in the
Dang.
paint, but he really wasn't playing defense. He was just kind of stat padding his blocks, and that's kind of what Clint Capella's doing.
Mhm.
But again, not utilizing their personnel right. Plus, you got like little decisions. Like you've had Cam Reddish, you've had Kevin Knox.
Yeah.
That would have been length on the wing, for defense. Got rid of that. And then you overpaid Bogdan Bogdanovic when you had Kevin Herter potentially on a rookie contract still. So kind of just dumb decisions adding up, I think is what this is.
All right. We're kind of low on time, so I was gonna ask questions about each of our teams, of the teams we brought up, but we kind of covered them pretty well. So ending it off, let's just talk about our favorite teams, what we think how our favorite teams are doing. I don't know who wants to kick us off with that.
I'll get mine out of the way. One seed, they're just hanging on barely because the Bucks are like breathing down their necks because they're on that 10-game win streak, I think it is. So it's going to be a race for that in the East. I think that home court advantage will be important come this playoffs for whoever gets that one seed, because last year Celtics got 2, Bucks got 3, and then Celtics won with home court advantage. And sometimes it has more importance in some series than others, but I think it's very valuable coming this playoff. So I think that's just the big thing for my team.
And I would ask you about the Rockets, but you've voiced several times in this episode
Yeah,
how
we
you
don't need
feel
to waste
about the Rockets.
I mean, I'm the polar opposite in the West. So, Lakers sitting at 13. It's like we go on like, it's not even like winning streaks. We'll like win 3 games and then lose. Like, it's just like we're trying to come back, but the teams ahead of us just keep winning. And it's like when we lose, it hurts more almost. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, hopefully we can make a run for the play-in at least. All we need is one. And then we work our way from there. Pacers fell way off, to be honest. They sitting at 12 seed?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 12 seed in the East. They were sitting at like top 5, and then just crazy losing streaks. So I mean, still playing if playoffs were to start today, but hopefully the Pacers can make a run for it as well. At least the playoffs, like a playoff lock. That would be nice to see, especially because the Pacers haven't been to the playoffs in so long. So I think it'd just be exciting. They would definitely be a first round exit, though. Let's be honest.
It'd be pretty fun though, whoever they face, I think.
Right.
I feel like Miles Turner really wants that playoff spot. Man had one of the most efficient 40-point games ever.
Bro, I didn't even talk about that. Yes, he had a was it just 40? I think it was just I think it was 40 exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying his true, what they call it?
True shooting percentage?
Yeah, it was like 110%.
Like
some crazy insane stat.
Mans was making buckets he didn't even take.
That's crazy.
It was so, I don't even know how they calculate that, but it was some crazy insane stat because he made all, I think he made all of his free throws. I think he missed, I don't think he went perfect. I think he missed a couple threes and then like a few like field goals or whatever. But another one of them games, Austin Reeves, 17 points, 100% from the field. That boy was hooping the other night.
Crazy. Yeah, I was gonna ask you because every year it seems like Miles Turner's in trade talks, and every year he doesn't get traded. Do you, as like a Pacers watcher, do you like ever see Miles Turner actually being traded?
Honestly, no, because you got to think about it. He's their best player, so it's like if it comes to that, then they're going to be in full rebuild mode. But I think they are at a weird stage right now where it's kind of like, you know, they got Miles Turner, who's considered the vet, you know. They just got George Hill, you know, veteran point guard who can, you know, teach all these younger players, you know, whatever that they teach. And then, you know, a couple other pieces. But I don't really see Miles Turner going anywhere, because also where would he go? You know, like, I feel like almost every team in the league, almost every team minus the poverty teams, have a center, and he's not going to go to a team worse than the Pacers, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't it'll be a blockbuster trade if a trade were to happen. He hasn't really said, and there's not been any reports that have said he's wanted to walk. I don't know. To me, I don't really see him going anywhere. Plus, they're starting to, you know, like I said, they're in a weird between championship rebuild phase right now. But give them a few more years, which Turner obviously has. I think they'll start, you know, at least making the playoffs.
Yeah, if Turner was gonna get traded, it would have happened a long time ago. Like every year for the past like 5 seasons, he's been in trade rumors. It never happened. It probably never will at this point.
Yeah. All right, Tyler.
All right, my team. If there was like ever a time to make moves during the they didn't make any like before the day. I don't know why, especially because given how they're playing, and it doesn't help that there's no Lonzo Ball, who they actually described his injury as like something they've never seen before. So that's nice to hear. But as y'all know, they just picked up Patrick Beverly, and in his first game, I don't know if it was like a stroke of luck or if everybody was just on fire that night. They just like stomped a mud hole through the Nets, 131-87, and they just beat
Jesus.
as the episode goes on, they were playing the Wizards, and they just beat them 102-82. So like it's nice seeing them play good, obviously, but I want to see how they go against like a team who's actually like a contender. Like their next contender that they play is the Suns, so I would like to see how they play against a team who actually has like is a threat in the league or has like a chance to win the championship. But yeah, as far as like the roster, like this team on paper doesn't even seem that bad, but the fact that they're even in the 12th seed is just wild, because at one point they were literally the top dogs in the East, and y'all know how that went. And then I mean, it's good to see that they have a point guard, because that's actually what the Bulls really needed, even if it's Patrick Beverly. And if we make the play-in, I really want him to celebrate like he did with the Timberwolves. I think that'd be hilarious. I ain't gonna lie.
Let's go!
I'm crying tears of joy. It's for his hometown, so he might be a little extra motivated, you know?
Yeah.
And then as far as the Kings, we pretty much talked about them.
Yeah, we talked about
third in the
Kings.
West and Beam Team. That's pretty much it.
I was gonna ask, how do you feel about Zach LaVine being in trade talks? All the rumors about him like being a problem. Are you kind of afraid that a rebuild is coming? Not because you guys are finally starting to be good again, or are you kind of not that worried about it?
I mean, kind of, because like I feel like if he leaves, I'm not sure if DeMar's like. I don't know if he'll re-sign, because I know he's on for 3 years, 80-something million. I feel like if Zach were to leave, I feel like DeMar would just like wait out his contract and try to go to like maybe for some reason like the Lakers, or like a team that could actually use like a push in the playoffs. And then Vucevic, I have a feeling that he's probably not gonna like be here any longer. I just don't know what it is. He's also getting up there in age too, so I don't know if he's gonna want to be on a team that's like fighting to even just make the play in. Like I feel like he's gonna want to be on a contender as well. And also I feel like there's gonna be some players that leave. Like Kobe White is also a person who doesn't really get used like too often. Like sometimes they'll play him for a certain amount of minutes, and then sometimes they like barely play the man at all. And they don't even like our rookie Dalen Terry, like either he's getting sent to the G League and he gets called back up, and he gets called back up. He plays like 0 to like 2 minutes in the actual like NBA game, so it doesn't help like his development, I don't think. I thought signing Goran Dragic would actually, do something, but I mean, I don't know. This team is very interesting, to say the least.
Trying his
Yeah.
hardest to hide his pain.
Oh, very. Behind this smile is so much anguish, bro. But no.
Just really quick, before you go, Angel.
Mhm.
So I looked it up. Miles Turner just had the most efficient 40-point plus game in NBA history. 40 points on 110.6% true shooting. I have no idea what true shooting is.
Man, what does that even mean? Like,
I don't know. I have no idea. He went 5 from 5 from 2. Oh shit.
let me see. What is true shooting? I'm gonna look that up.
He went 5 for 5 from 2, 8 of 10 from 3, and 6 of 7 at the free throw line.
Well,
He
yeah,
missed 3 shots that entire game.
I'm not an advanced stats person, so I have no idea what true shooting means.
I just looked it up, bro. It's like
More
a whole
accurate.
math formula.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a more accurate way of determining someone's actual efficiency. Because if you look at a field goal percentage, it may not actually represent how efficient of a player like they are. Like you could be stuck at the end of a shot clock and forced to take a shot, or you throw one up at the end of a quarter, or
So he's really taking very good shots. Basically.
Yeah. Every shot.
We kind of talked about the Nuggets already. First seed. I'm kind of worried as a Nuggets fan that we're gonna get regular season allegations just because we have like the best, in my opinion, the best center in like the modern NBA probably ever. Like, there's no one a trailblazer. Like, I'm pretty sure most centers are gonna in the future gonna be like, yeah, I looked up to Jokic. So it's like kind of sad that we have a 2-time MVP, maybe even third, and we're kind of just like at best conference finals, have to come back 3-1 twice to even do that. So it's like I'm kind of worried as a Nuggets fan that we're just gonna be really good in the season standing, like regular season, and it's like all right in playoffs. Hornets. I have no words for the Charlotte Hornets. I firmly believe that they're purposely tanking. Like, they gotta be tanking because last season they were 10 seed in the East, and this year they're just like,
I mean, do you really think they're tanking, or do you think they're just really that bad?
I don't think there's no way they can be that.
It might be
bad.
a little bit of both, man.
Yeah, it might be both. I mean, they're just now playing their rookie Mark Williams at center, which is why weren't they doing that the whole season? Like, why did Mason Plumlee starting? Like, when you have a rookie who can develop. I mean, yeah, I feel bad for Terry Rozier because he definitely joined the team thinking that they could do something, and ever since he joined the team, they haven't been doing anything.
Let's be real. They paid him a bag, okay? They
did.
Yeah, for sure.
They did the same thing with Gordon Hayward too.
Yeah, it's just an odd team. You would think a team with Rozier and LaMelo and Hayward would be kind of okay, but they're barely 0.30.
And I heard Miles Bridges could make a comeback this season. They are talking. They're in like.
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that.
Insane. I hope they don't allow that man back on the team.
The Charlotte Convicts.
The Charlotte Convicts for real.
No, but real talk though. I remember when Montrez was on the team, he got pulled over for some stuff, and then what's the dude's name? James something. Like, he was sleeping in his car with a bag of Doritos and a Glock. Like, what are y'all doing that for, bro?
Yeah, I just
looking, bro.
Not at all.
It's just a hard watch. I mean, the best part about it is Dennis Smith Jr. somewhat showing flashes that he can still be a player in the NBA. But other than that, those are my teams, and it's like complete
one thing
opposite.
One thing about the Jokic thing though, I feel like the weight on Jokic is less than Joel Embiid's right now, because those are two of the Joel Embiid, Jokic. Those are probably going to be two of the top 10 centers to play in the NBA.
Oh,
you got both these guys right now, and Joel Embiid has not even made an Eastern Conference Finals. So
that is
Jokic
true.
has. So
Also,
there's even pressure for Embiid to not like major pressure, but there's even pressure from the win of MVP. You know,
yeah,
I know we still got Giannis and Jokic in the league, but like he's got to do something.
yeah, facts. I would argue that his pressure is a tiny bit more because he also has the pressure of his teammate, James Harden, who's under pressure to win. Like, at least Jokic is the only person on the Nuggets who people are like, why don't you have a ring yet? But Joel Embiid has had that with Jimmy Butler. He had the pressure of his second in command, Ben Simmons, not doing anything. Now he has James Harden, who is under pressure like once every beginning of the season. Like, so it's just kind of like there's probably way more pressure on him because his teammates are also getting like pressure from the outside as well.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But I mean, the Sixers aren't really helping him either because they're getting rid of good players. So
oh yeah, not really helping at all.
oh yeah, Doc Rivers, he's gonna fumble it in the playoffs. Like this man's rotations are atrocious. This man, they got Tyrese Maxey coming off the bench now, which you think would be good, but it ices him all the time. Like he's
Yeah.
best run towards the rim, and they take out their shooters, and it's just a mess.
I kind of feel bad for Embiid just because he's playing with the probably like the best center of all time, him and Jokic. So he not only does he have to compete with someone else who's not even in his conference, but he also has to deal with the drama of his teammates.
Yeah.
But they're third in the East right now, so and Harden is picking up the pace. So who knows?
It's crazy. It's like that man's doing what he can to keep Philly like floating, bro. Like I watched yesterday when they played Boston and man heaved it from full court and obviously didn't count. It's just like no matter what he does, there's something that just diminishes it right after. I feel so bad for Philly, man. Jeez.
Yo, Doc
the best
Rivers played him
example, bro.
all the third quarter, and what you think happened? He gets exhausted in the fourth, and
Yeah,
it
like
just don't click the same as it was earlier in the game. But
he's on his 2018 LeBron run, dude. I swear, like
No,
one
it
man
is
army, bro.
not only that, but like it's kind of funny to think about it in hindsight. He also had Kawhi's buzzer beater against him. So like
send him into tears.
He's in constant
I never
pain,
thought
bro.
about how much like how hard it must be for Embiid to be like getting trash talked when he's trying his hardest.
Bruh.
All right. Any last thoughts about this season so far?
I mean, I think we can all agree that it's been a very interesting season, and we said that from the beginning. It's not what we expected, but it's definitely been a very interesting season so far, and I feel like it'll only get more interesting as we get to the playoffs, and probably even in the playoffs.
Yes, sir. One of the best seasons in a long time for sure. Only 3 years apart from the bubble season, so it's nice to have like a season this interesting. All right.
I'll just throw one question out there real quick. There's been a lot of huge scoring games in the regular season. Who do you think would likely get a 50-point game with this coming playoffs?
In the playoffs?
In the playoffs, yeah.
I'll
start it off. If the Mavericks face the Kings, he's torching for 50. You got Fox, Mitchell. They're tenacious on D, but they're only 6 feet tall. He's just going to shoot right over their head every time.
Low key, I'll go Donovan.
Oh, true, Donovan.
I think Donovan could pop off 50. I mean,
Hey,
he did 70 earlier, so
the Cavs. And he's scoring way better on the Cavs than he is on Utah because he doesn't have to be the only playmaker.
he's right. Like, I can see Donovan.
Yeah, the Knicks look like they'll climb that fifth, face the Cavs, and then you got Barrett and then Brunson. I think Donovan can torch those guys too.
I mean, we've seen like he did it in the finals. I mean, Giannis. I mean, he did it with that. I mean, come on. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean,
Giannis can drop 50 in his sleep. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like, and honestly, I think Jason Tatum could do it one of these games, man. People forgetting that he be having crazy like Like
he been popping. And he's
Yeah.
only getting better. So I could definitely see 50. I'm gonna say 60.
Damn.
I'm gonna say 60. I'm gonna say I could. He
he
got to
did
be
it
fired
last
off on
season.
all cylinders, but like at home, different.
I kind of have a dark horse.
Mm-hmm.
Kawhi's finally healthy again. I can see Kawhi dropping 50 with Russ on his team. I can
Maybe
see
get him
Kawhi.
open looks and
Maybe.
all that.
Yeah.
I see it.
I don't
he,
think-
he almost did it yesterday. So like,
Yeah.
like he could.
They'll be against a play-in team if they stay where they're at right now. Like
Right.
I can see them getting 50. I'm against Utah or Minnesota. Like I can definitely Minnesota. Definitely
That's
Minnesota.
definitely a dark horse because I don't think Kawhi ever scored 50 even in a regular season game. His career high is like 48, I think. 48,
Hey.
47. It's really close.
That's crazy.
Just one more bucket.
Yep.
One more bucket. And he has been in a playoff game for a long time. So I can definitely see him like being locked in and just
Itching.
demolishing whatever poor playing team. Because I'm looking at the playing teams right now, and it's like it's like the Warriors, poor defense, Minnesota, Gobert's in a world of pain, and then the Jazz. Like the Pelicans, I'm leaving off that list because like the Pelicans might be healthy by the playoffs, and they're actually a really good team. But like those three, Golden State, Minnesota, and Utah, I can see Kawhi torching one of those teams.
I mean, if it comes down to it, because there's moments where he's like the only man like trying to do stuff and win, like Jokic, like he be having this one man army moments from time to time. Like, so I could see him doing it too. Like, it probably might not be as likely, but I could definitely see it given like some of the times he has to put the whole team on his back. Like,
I could see it if we give him some resting time in the playoffs. In the
That's one
playoffs,
thing they do not do for him.
yeah,
What they
in
do
the
not do for
playoffs,
him.
we make sure Jokic is on the court as much as humanly possible. So I can see if he actually used Thomas Bryant in the playoffs.
For real.
I feel
He's
like more
on the
likely
court
he'd
all
get a-
48 minutes, bro.
Mhm.
probably get a quadruple double before he get a 50-point playoff game, I think.
On some David Robinson stuff, I can see.
Yeah.
Hey,
He'd have to do everything.
I can kind of.
I mean, he already does, kind of. So
I mean, no, he for sure does. He doesn't.
no, he does. What was the kind of? No doubt in that. I don't know why I said that. There's no doubt.
All right. We got a lot. We covered a lot. I feel like we talked about a lot of teams. If you're listening on Spotify, make sure you give us that good old 5 stars. YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We are on all social media platforms at Spin the Rock, so check us out there for clips, episode updates. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
Baby, hop in the rocket, yeah, we gonna blast off. I just bought my own, I can't tell you why they mad, dog. I've been eating good like I'm off a line of bad sauce.